Dylan, post-game last night, you said something to me, Ozzy, that you thought it was a mature third period. Can you expand on what you meant by that?
Yeah, I think we didn't put ourselves in bad situations. We stayed out of the box. We didn't change our game too much. We obviously weren't taking crazy risk and really flooring it for offense, but we still generated, and most importantly, we didn't give up much at the same time. So I thought we just rolled the lines, and everyone was playing and playing well. Gave him kind of shut him out, and that was important third period for our team.
How much of that do you kind of attribute? You guys had 2 practices where you spent a ton of time defending kind of entries and back checks. Like, how much do you attribute it last night to that?
Yeah, a lot. We really put what we practice into the game, and it showed. We didn't give up much, and I'm sure Todd would tell you there's probably tons of good clips and positive clips that the last week or so it with our tracking especially, it wasn't so positive, and I think he gave us a little bit of a pat on the back today that we took what we practiced and what we were taught to do and into the game.
Dylan, for you personally, how much of your very impressive hot start numbers-wise has come down to did you do anything else this off-season or anything?
No. I had a good summer, but I think just the way the team has started and for me personally, the excitement playing with Finn and the moment I saw Lucas come back, the way he looked, like he was ready to take a massive jump, and then playing with Finn and even App for a little bit when Ray was out. Just playing with good players, and I talked about it a little bit, that the pressure that's off of not having to be F1 on the forecheck with Ray and Finn and App even, that guys can skate and go forecheck and do a little bit of the dirty work and help get pucks, and I thought we've been sharing the puck really well. So our whole team, there's a lot of storylines on good starts, and I was happy to see last night everyone, in the last 2 nights, everyone seems to be chipping in on offense, which is important for our team. Everyone getting that good feeling. So it's going to have to be from everyone this year, and I think it's a good start for our whole team.
Do you think that this is kind of the culmination of maybe the past couple of seasons showing how much a point or two in October may matter in April?
Yeah, every point matters. I think the next challenge for us is with how we play, how we skate. We're going to be in games, and where we're at in the standings right now, it's still very early, but teams are going to be coming for us, and they're going to bring their best against us. It's something that we're not used to. So when you're at the top of the standings, teams want to beat you, and you have to be ready every night.
You mentioned getting excited when you saw Lucas come back. I assume you mean like in those preseason skates. Like, what was it that you saw from him that gave you that feeling?
Just I would say the pop. Obviously, he's an explosive guy, but just his hands, his quickness. He seemed very dialed in, and it's something that you learn as you go through seasons in the NHL and off seasons, and I just thought that he looked ready to take the next step and continue, put up more points and help our team even more.
He's a guy, we saw him miss a couple games early this year. Like, what did it mean to see him? I'm sure he's playing through it a little bit there when he comes back. Like, what's that do for you in the bench to see a guy playing through it like that early in the
year? Yeah, it means a lot. It doesn't go unrecognized, and he's doing better, but it's still early, so you got to be careful a little bit on how much you push it, and I think he's very smart about it. So it doesn't go unrecognized, especially with some of the young faces we have in our room.
Don, you said teams might be hunting you a little bit, even though it's early in the season. How do you, as a leader on this team, make sure your team is aware of that and doesn't take the foot off the gas going forward?
Yeah, I guess when I say that, it's It's still early.
Right.
I just felt like I noticed it a little bit, especially the Buffalo and New York Islander game. Like they were ready to play against us, and it's a different feeling, and something you just have to be ready. You got to treat every game like it's a really big one, and because it is, every point is big in this league, and you take points anywhere they come.
Dylan, speaking of guys with good starts on your team, first year with John Gibson, I know that obviously opening night wasn't ideal for him or you guys, but it looked like he's been on the beam ever since. What's it been like so far, having him as a teammate, and what he can bring in net?
Can't say enough good things about him as a teammate, and his demeanor is very, very old school, and opening night didn't go. We left him out to dry, and we did not play well, and he was calm. He was collected. He said he seemed a little pissed off about it, and he responded. And I think he's a gamer that when he gets hot, it's really good for us. And I think he's still just chipping away and working on it. And last night was a great performance out of him, where he just kept everything in front of him and played the puck really well. Got whistles when he had to, and I thought he managed the game really well for us back there.
If he happens to get Friday's game in Anaheim, what do you think that will kind of mean for him, and even for you guys playing in front of him?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to mean a lot to him, and I think when you put years into an organization, and especially years that aren't great, there's good moments, but there's some tough times. It's hard. When you're in it, you want to be the guy to help get that organization out of it, and I think maybe he got to a point, I'm not going to put words, but he wanted a fresh start, and I think it'd be an emotional return. And I think as a guy, that's pretty cool, calm and collected, and I think I know he'll be excited, and I think it would be emotional because he put so much effort, and he cared a lot about that organization for a long time.
You get to go find some of your old spots here?
Yeah, I'm going to go meet up with some family friends and stuff like that this afternoon, have lunch, and hit up one of my favorite lunch spots that I used to frequent.
You've obviously done this plenty of times in plenty of different cities. Does it still have a kind of significance to you to play a former team, or not as much?
I mean, at this point, it'd be like a quarter of the league, right? So it's getting less and less, I don't know, fun, I guess. But yeah, it's always fun. It's always nice to come back to a city that you get to play in and enjoy, and see some friends and stuff like that. So, but yeah, obviously when you're on as many teams as me, it's like almost every road trip. So it loses its luster from time to time.
We just asked Todd about it too, coming back to LA, and he kind of said when you have a lot of stops, it's more about the people that you meet in each city and that you get to see when you return. Just what do you appreciate about each stop that you've had in the NHL?
I'd say exactly that as well.
Yeah.
Obviously teammates, coaches, people around the rink today, training staffs and stuff like that. So you get close with them, whether you're there for a year, 4 or 5 years, doesn't matter. They're the people that you see every single day, and then the relationships you build outside of hockey through the kids and stuff like that, other parents from school, sports teams and stuff like that. So, all these places have a special place in your heart for so many reasons, and this place is no different.
Ken, what are you seeing from Dylan this season? I mean, he's off to a remarkable start numbers-wise.
Yeah, I mean, he's our leader for a reason, and he's really driving the bus right now. So anytime that the game's maybe not going our way, or we need a spark or something like that, he seems to be providing it for us this year, and that's what we expect from him. He's got that game-breaking ability, and we've been seeing it a lot this year, and he's pulling us into the fight every night, and that's what you want from your captain. And you can tell he's at an elite level right now. We need to keep that up.
So you guys are 10 games through the season, still very early, but what have you learned about the group on the ice, off the ice? What has stood out to you from this first stretch of games?
I think the resilience. I mean, after that first game, obviously didn't go our way against Montreal. We reel off 5 in a row, and then we get a couple lackluster performances after that, and then we bounce right back again. So, against St. Louis, we obviously didn't have the start we wanted coming back home after those 2 road games, and then again found a way to grind that one out as well, and then put together a couple of good ones there. So the resiliency, the mental fortitude right now is high. So we need to continue with that confidence that we've been building, and continue to add those little details into our game and get off to better starts here.
Off to a good start, season-wise, record-wise, but as a leader, a guy who's experienced, how do you make sure a team like this, especially with some young guys, doesn't take their foot off the gas going forward?
Yeah, I feel like we've talked about that a little bit so far this year, is just not getting too high, not getting too low. So, you go on that 5-game winning streak, and, you can get really, really high, and then you hit those 2 road games, you can get really, really low. So it's just kind of balancing that out and not letting them carry over from game to game. You have to kind of mentally reset after every game. Approach it like it's a must-win every single night. Whether we've won 5 in a row or lost 5 in a row, we should approach the game the same way, and that's going to be the message moving forward here, and trying to keep our foot on the gas.
The start to the season and to contribute offensively last night, just what did that mean to you in terms of finding a spot in this lineup and keeping it?
Yeah, of course, it was nice. Felt like we played good the whole game, Felt like our line was heavy, playing physical, good on the forecheck. So, just got to keep doing the same way.
What are you guys doing right as a line when all of those things are going well?
I think we just kind of trust each other and know that each guy is going to do their work. So, and of course, we're 3 big guys, so it's going to be tough and heavy to play against us. So, when we do that, I think we're a good opponent.
Defensively, what stood out to you from the way you guys played against St. Louis the other night?
I think the way we handled the third period was really good. We kind of just closed down the game. Didn't give up anything. We just played really solid, and I think that's what we need to do to keep winning. And you have to be good defensively. So that was really good.
I feel like last night was one of the more physically active games I've seen from you. How conscious is that, and what do you think the difference is of being able to tap into that?
I think I just trying to get it more and more as a habit, and I felt good last night. Once you get in early with the heavy play, I think that's gonna carry on throughout the whole game. So I think for me, it's just getting more and more natural.
To see after the practices you guys had this week, it come to life the way it did in some of those moments yesterday.
Well, it's rewarding, not necessarily for us as coaches, but for the players. They put the time in, and they knew they needed to work and improve in certain areas, and it showed up in the game. Now that's one night. Can we? We've been saying this basically all year. Can we bottle it? Can we travel with it? Can we maintain it? And we're still working hard on the starts, trying to get out of the gate better than we have been over the last few games. But practice habits showed up in the game. That's always a good sign.
Todd, you saw Dylan a ton as an opposing coach now, your first full year with him, but what have you seen that he's off to such a hot start?
Well, he's confident, but he should be. He's a heck of a player. You think about his legs, you think about his ability to get to places and read plays. He's a pretty bright hockey player, and we played him with a couple players that I think complement him. So the whole package has been there. And the thing about Dylan is he's just not thinking about the offensive side of the puck. He's willing to check and do his job against some of the best centers in the league. So we're fortunate to have him.
Is it funny too how sometimes how things work out, because it seems like Emmett really has been a terrific fit on that line, and you might not have penciled him.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Heading into training camp, we really had no idea who was going to, assume that role or that position. We talked about a lot of different people. Emmett Finney not being one of them, though, to tell you the truth. And, the door opened up for him. He jumped through the door, and he's stayed in that position so far. And I don't see him relinquishing it. As long as he maintains the level of play that he's had right now. And also,
anything on Patrick Kane, because you are at 12 forwards, right?
We are at, yes, we are at 12 forwards right now. I know Kaner's skating at home. I haven't got an update today. In fact, I didn't get one yesterday. He won't play tomorrow and won't play in Anaheim the following day. So we'll see how it goes from there.
You guys are about to set off on 3 games in 4 nights here. How do you embrace the grind of the season now that things are starting to pick up?
Well, it's a must. We really don't have any choice but to embrace it. And we're not the only team in the league. There's 31 others that have to get out on the road. They have to play half their season there. Travel becomes a factor. Back-to-back games become a factor. So it's not just about the Detroit Red Wings. Everybody goes through this. And the teams that are mentally strong, well-equipped, they handle it the way they should. Teams that are still working on it kind of fumble through it. And then there's the others. And we certainly don't want to be either of those last two. We'd like to be the team that handles it well.
I don't know if Lucas is back to 100% yet, but what have you thought of him and how he's looked coming back?
Razor, you're talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know if he would be at 100% yet either. I think that Razor's game has... I just think there's more in Razor's game, to tell you the truth. There's no sense beating around the bush. But he was injured. He did come back and play, beat up a little bit. Fact of life in the NHL, as we told him at training camp, you're never going to feel any better than you are today. And it all goes downhill from there as far as fatigue and owies and injuries and everything else. And Razor's living it early in the season, but there is more there, both offensively and battles, but he was beat up.
Is there something to be said, I guess, for playing through it even in October where, there could be an inclination to rest, but he clearly wants to be out there?
Yeah, I don't think, I can tell you he doesn't want to rest, and we don't really want him to be resting. What he had was he got the time off that he needed, and now he's very capable of playing with it. At some point you're over it. And, it's admirable that he's in the lineup and he's fighting through, but again, at some point you're over it.
Todd, you've experienced a lot as a coach, but does it still bring up any emotion to coach in a city that you previously coached in?
Yeah, I've gone through it a number of times. When you come back here, I think one of the things that's special about all these stops that I've had are the people. I see the trainers and the media people from other teams, and it means a lot. It's not necessarily the location, the rink, or anything like that. It's the people, and every time you get a stop like that and get to visit it, it means a lot.
Todd, you've gone up against John Gibson in the other opposing net many times. What's it like to now have him in your net?
Well, I'm glad he's in our net now. Obviously out east, if he was still in Anaheim, we'd only need to see him maybe twice, but it's been a pleasure to see him practice, play. The calming factor that he has on the team is pretty big right now. Some would say look at his numbers and go, well, he's not off to a good start. Well, if anybody watched those games with our team playing in front of him, you can't blame him on a lot of it. So, but even last night we gave up a goal in the first 50 seconds of the game. He was calm, he relaxed. No big deal, I got this, and he made some saves after that were important.
Was that, is it a sign of where he's at in his career that, say, opening night was nobody like that, but that where he's at in his career where he's able to park that?
I think so, yeah.
And you just move on to the next thing.
You have enough in the bank to move on. As you get older and you get more mature and you're invested in your career with a team, you're going to have bad days, and you got to be able to move on from them. When you're younger, you carry those days with you, and you worry about them, and you wonder what the repercussions may be in the lineup. But I think Gibby, Talbot's included too. They're beyond that. They've got to get past bad days, and they got to recover from good days too. It just doesn't happen by accident. So both veterans.
Would you play in that